Cheers. In this episode, we push off the dock, we throw off the lines, and we leave our home port of Savannah, where we bought this boat, onto our first destination of the cruising trip, which is Hilton Head.
Yep.
So here we go.
Okay, this is day one. We're on our first leg of the trip, or we will be. How are you feeling?
Tired, but anxious to get going.
It'll be an exciting day. We are leaving Georgia today, and we're gonna make our way up to HarborTown. According to our charts right there, that's us, and we're going to start the intra-coastal waterway just ahead of us, past that green buoy. And that's the green buoy. That'd be marker 37.
All right, so we're about halfway between Savannah and Hilton Head, and as you can see, it's still early morning and just trying to get a sense for how to navigate the narrow channel in shallow water. So that was a little harrowing. We went through a skinny part of the ICW where the depth literally went down to
Go this way.
zero. It went down to 0 feet under the keel, and I shut off the engines and we coasted right over it. That was not my favorite. But we also went through a small narrow channel that was like literally 20 feet between the buoys. I got it. And you know, I noticed that one of the buoys was laying on its side, so I'm like, no bueno. I'm going to the buoy that's not laying down. So we're docking in HarborTown right now, Hilton Head. Slowly coming in. I don't know how deep it is in this channel, but I'm staying in it. This is Hilton Head, HarborTown. That was a interesting first trip, first leg of the journey. It was a little bit harrowing. I wasn't prepared for almost running aground, and I made the mistake of trying to leave at 6 in the morning because we're trying to get to the next destination so that we can sign on to work at 12 noon, which is 9 o'clock our time. So I was trying to beat that time window, and I made the mistake of leaving at it wasn't low tide, it was like 3 hours before low tide, but it was still a lowering tide. And when we got to a certain point above Georgia, there's a really skinny place that's, the buoys are like 20 feet apart. You can only really get one boat through there. It's a skinny entrance to the channel. And I noticed, and you probably saw on the video, I noticed that one of the markers was laying on its side, and I'm like, uh-oh. I was like, that is definitely like not even a foot of clearance right there. So it basically went from 3 feet on my depth finder to 2 feet to 1 foot to dash. And when we hit the part where there's no more clearance underneath the boat, I shut off the throttles, I put them down into neutral, and we just kind of coasted right across whatever that was, a mud bank or whatever. I pulled down the throttles because I didn't want the engine to suck in any sand or mud into the cooling system, because that would have been a much bigger issue. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to hit whatever I was going to hit at full speed either. So, hey, we got through there, and all of a sudden it went from 0 to 1 to 2 to 4. And I never felt so lucky to have 4 feet on my depth finder before.
And then just around the bend, we went up to 22 feet. So, you know, it just varies, and you have to watch your depth finder for sure. And you've got to see where the buoys are. Even if they're laying on their side, it actually is telling you where you should and probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, so that was one harrowing thing. The other thing that wasn't a super fan of, and you probably saw it in the approach, is that they tucked us into a little corner of the marina at Hilton Head where you didn't have a whole lot of clearance and room to turn behind you. And that was literally the first time I'd ever tried docking this boat ever. And I was in a tight little corner of the marina, so.
But you got it in there on the first try.
Yeah.
We're not opposed to trying again until he's comfortable with the way we're approaching. The resort is great. They sent a dock hand out to grab our spring line and guide us in. I think the biggest...
They gave us this complimentary welcome rosé.
And I think the biggest challenge, which we didn't realize, is it would have been easier for us to go stern in.
Yeah, we had to do some boat yoga with the lines and the electrical power cord and the water, but we made it work. But there's no way I'm going stern in on my first docking experience. I just wanted to dock that sucker. I didn't want to go backwards. I didn't want to do anything new. I'm like, no. Plus the fact that our dinghy cradle had broken off of our swim step, the one that we just installed 2 days ago. And so the dinghy is now ratchet strapped to the swim step, and it's covering up the whole back area. And there's no way she's gonna do like somersaults off of the back of the boat, because the the dinghy was blocking all of the lines and all the cleats and everything. So, but we made it work. So that was the summary of the journey from Savannah to Hilton Head. Next episode, we're going to talk about the 5 days that we spent in Hilton Head, specifically in HarborTown. And we have a lot to talk about in that episode, so stay tuned for that. See you then.
Cheers from Project Vagabond.
Safe boating.
Happy boating.